Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to South Medford High School in South Medford, Oregon, as tonight we get ready for the start of Southwest Conference play. It's your number 9 Roseburg Indians at 10-2 on the season, taking on number 22 South Medford, coming in at 7-5 to begin Southwest Conference play. Should be a fun test tonight to see how things went in the non-conference for Roseburg and whether or not they can carry that over into the start of Southwest Conference play. And there's no better way to test yourself than against the reigning Southwest Conference champions. South Medford coming off of an undefeated season in conference play 1 year ago. They would finish out that year as the number 4 team in the state of Oregon, but they graduated a lot from last year's team. Still bring back some really talented players. We'll see if that's enough for them to get the win. Roseburg, meanwhile, coming in hot. 7 straight victories for the Tribe. We'll see if they can carry that momentum into Southwest Conference play. The intensity ramps up just a little bit more as we take the season into January. So we'll see what's in store for us here tonight. It's great to have you with us. I'm Joey Kieran. As we get this broadcast off and rolling, let you know the JV game going down to the wire. Roseburg had overcome a double-digit deficit in the second half and managed to take a lead, a sizable lead, a couple of buckets in that fourth quarter, but they couldn't hold off South Medford as the Panthers hit a bucket with, I think they maybe put the shot up with about 3 seconds left to go in the game. It went through, and Roseburg was able to call a timeout with 1 second is what they put back on the clock. 1 second on the clock, and so Roseburg got a look at it from half court. Unfortunately, it was just off the mark on the shot. It was pretty tight, but unfortunately just a bit off. So the JV game goes down to the wire, 75-74. South Medford the victory there. And now we get ready for the varsity matchup. Tonight's game will be streaming with video online at 541radio.com. You can find it there right now. You can also check out our video stream on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button to follow Roseburg High Sports throughout this school year. And stay with us as we bring you coverage of what's going on with Roseburg High Sports. So check that out there on YouTube. Search 1490 The Score and hit subscribe. You can also find it on our own website at 541radio.com. We've got a conversation coming up with head coach Jordan Humphreys here in just a couple of moments as we count down to tip off in this one here tonight. Roseburg, number 9 in the OSAA Power Rankings. South Medford, number 22. We'll see how this one plays out tonight as we kick off Southwest Conference play. We'll come back and hear from head coach Jordan Humphreys after a 2-minute timeout here on the pregame show on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Working from a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to. By hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations. Top of the Hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors, at home or on the road, at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Back here with more of our pregame on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM, and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. Tonight, the Roseburg Indians visit the South Medford Panthers to begin Southwest Conference play. We get a chance to catch up with head coach Jordan Humphreys. Coach, you guys wrap up non-conference play with a 10-2 record. I mean, wins, losses, you got to be pretty happy with the way that looks. But, overall impression about how the non-conference portion of the season tested you guys and how you feel like you guys made it through.
We've talked about road games a lot, and we had a lot of them, and so it's always nice to be able to go and play well at other places, play some quality 5A teams, which would compete well in the 6A level, and I think all of our games gave us something different to look at. Even the Aloha game last week, we talked about it being a game that if you're complacent on, then they're going to play with you, and our guys stepped up to the challenge, and every time I've done that and challenged them to in a game, then they've stepped up. I mean, even the road trip when we came back from Bend and came back Monday and Tuesday and had home game with Ashland and then road game with Thurston, playing games 6 and 7 in a 4 and 5 in a 7-game stretch. That's not easy for guys, and that mental toughness, I think, proved to hopefully pay off for us.
As the non-conference portion is always kind of hopefully going to get you guys up to speed as you get ready for Southwest Conference play. And do you feel like you accomplished what you wanted to? I mean, you're saying you hope you get up to speed, but, did you hit the benchmarks throughout those couple of weeks of non-conference play before conference play gets underway?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think obviously we're trying to play a new style, and I think our guys bought into that, and it didn't take very long for them to see the success from it. And having 6 different guys score 16 points plus, I think they see how fruitful it can be and how teams can't scout us very well if so many different guys can score. And we got lots of guys playing, which keeps everybody engaged and everybody having fun. And it's a fun style to play and a fun style to watch.
Mm-hmm. I kind of got into the stats a little bit. Things caught up with your online stat system, and so was able to kind of get a feel for what's been going on through these games. And 12 games in, one thing you said to me a couple of games ago, I think we were on the road somewhere. Felt like North Eugene, but it must have been Thurston because North Eugene was ages ago. But you talked about rebounding, that you'd been harping on them, and then something kind of clicked, and you were like, we got to do this, and then the rebounding, and so you kind of focused on that here recently. I looked at the last 2 games, you guys over 40 rebounds in each game. That's something that's come along. That aspect of the game, that was something that stood out to me looking at the stats. What are your thoughts on kind of just what you've seen there after what sounds like maybe kind of a light bulb moment earlier in the last week?
Yeah, the light bulb was partly on my part to tell kids, hey, we don't need to go rebound, we need to go block out. Block out, and then the rebounds are going to come. And some kids were focusing on going to get rebounds instead of going to find the guy and block out. And it allowed us to get, maybe 6-7 more boards in those last few games. And really what it allowed is now our guys are competing more with each other for rebounds than competing against the other team. If we get 5 guys that block out, now it's like which of our guys want to go get it. Mm-hmm. Well, then on the offensive end, we talk about, hey, if you get an offensive board, those are free points for you to take it right back up. So those guys that are trying to get, really want those extra points because they want to improve their stat line, they go get 0 boards, they're really helping the team more, and then the byproduct is they get some points for themselves. Yeah. Or opportunities for points.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you'd like to cash in on a few more of those offensive boards that we've seen, unfortunately, not quite. Tonight taking on South Medford, who's always been one of the top teams coming off of a conference championship last year, going undefeated. They lose a lot, but, what do you think about your opponent tonight? They've obviously got 2 guys that were first-team all-conference selections last year that can do a lot of the scoring.
And they obviously have a pretty good culture of winning down here, and they're used to it. And so, for them, this is just another game that, hey, we're going to win this game because that's what we're expected to do. And it's a little bit different mindset for us coming in. I think our guys have a lot of confidence right now. And anytime, coming down to the Medford schools and getting a win is big.
Yeah. That aspect of kind of the mental side of it is there's a culture of winning down here. Roseburg's gone a little ways where last year you guys took the step of getting back to the postseason. This year, you guys have looked really good and I think avoided that pitfall of when things kind of go wrong, you fall back into old habits of assuming that things are going to go wrong and it's all unraveling. Now that you get into conference play where opponents are a little bit more familiar, guys are used to seeing these teams year in and year out, do you continue to talk about the mental aspect of just knowing what you've done so far and the results of it, that it can continue to work for you guys as you get into conference play?
Yeah, definitely. The mental part is something we talk about every day. And the mental growth has got to be there, whether it's being mentally tough on the court, in practice, off the court, in the classroom. All those things we talk about, being mentally disciplined to do the right thing when nobody else is around and all that stuff, and how it transfers to the court. And this senior group has definitely bought into that and has seen the payoff that it's habit to have those mental that mental toughness, and I think that's what's paying off in those games when we have a small lead and then we give up the lead and we have the composure to get the lead back and not freak out like we have in the past. And as far as league opponents, it's just another step because they know these guys. They have semi, you could call them relationships, probably more hate relationships than love relationships, but they also respect them and. But they want to beat them. They played against them for the last 4 years or 3 years or whatever it is, and now the intensity rises from what we've done in the preseason because this is the second half of our season, and like we've talked about being 1-0. Hey, this is the chance to start 1-0 in our league against probably the favorite in the league.
All right, Coach, get that ready for it. You excited about conference play? I'm a little excited to see how the non-conference translates into what we see in conference play. Yeah,
definitely. And, it's always a little bit more, coaches have got a chance to see each other's film and kind of game plan a little bit and make tweaks and see how they can disrupt what everybody else is doing. And even just being here, the band's starting to show up. The fans are starting to fill in for the JV game, and we got some good road fans coming. And just the atmosphere is just a little bit more intense when you get into the league, and that's what's fun about it.
Absolutely. Look forward to it tonight, Coach. Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
That is head coach Jordan Humphreys joining us here in the pregame show as we get ready for tip-off tonight between Roseburg and South Medford. Teams are out there warming up. We'll have a look at your starting lineups coming up here in just a little bit. But before we get to tip-off tonight, taking a look at the matchup and where these two teams were at in their final non-conference games of the season. For Roseburg, they are coming off of an 86-41 win at Aloha. Roseburg leading wire to wire in that one. They led by 30-plus throughout the entire second half. Made a season-high 14 three-pointers. Went 15 for 18 at the free throw line, 83% at the stripe. That's their best mark in a single game of the season. RHS scored a season-high in points 4 in 86. That surpassed their previous high of 80. And they allowed a season low in points against at 41, which was better than their previous season low allowed of 47. So good all-around game to send them off into conference play on Friday last week. Meanwhile, for South Medford, they're coming off of a 66-53 win at Ida B. Wells up in the Portland metropolitan area on Saturday. That was part of the PIL showcase. South Medford trailed 25-23 at halftime, but then outscored Ida B. Wells 43-28 in the second half. South Medford was 17 for 21 at the free throw line and they made 3 3-pointers in that matchup. Coming in, Roseburg averaging 71.8 points per game and giving up an average of 56.3. Roseburg shooting 41% from the floor and 31% from behind the arc. As for South Medford, they average 57.1 points per game and give up an average of 52.6. They have a season high of 70, and they are shooting 41% from the floor as well, just like Roseburg, and they shoot 28% from behind the arc. So kind of similar numbers on the shooting percentages there, but obviously Roseburg getting up more opportunities with their average of 71 points a game, and that's exactly the game plan that head coach Jordan Humphreys wants to try and establish in a game. Is a lot of possessions, quick up and down the floor, and we'll see how that works out tonight for the Roseburg Indians. For South Medford, head coach James Whiteman was named the Southwest Conference Coach of the Year last year after The Panthers went 10-0, a total of 25-3 overall. They won the Southwest Conference title and placed 4th at state. They graduated 7 seniors from last year, including Conference Player of the Year, Junior Sleazer, First Team All-Conference Selection, Devin Malcolm, Honorable Mention All-Conference Selection, Desmond Claiborne, and they also lost Honorable Mention Selection, Drew Hall, who transferred to Cascade Christian this year. So that is a Conference Player of the Year, and then 3 All-Conference selections that are no longer on this team from last year. They do return, though, 2 first-team All-Conference selections in Jackson Wieland and Bowden Howell. Wieland a junior and Howell a sophomore. Both of them first-team All-Conference selections last year. They do a bulk of the scoring for the Panthers this year. Roseburg, of course, also brought back 2 conference selections from last year. Micah Mendoza, a second-team All-Conference selection, and Boston Williams, an honorable mention All-Southwest Conference selection last year. But one of the things that kind of stands out to you with South Medford, they are led by Whelan and Howell. Those are the guys that will be the targets for most teams to try and stop. You look at the rest of the numbers for South Medford, they have 3 players that are averaging 5 points or more per game. Only 3. Howell at 20.6, Wieland at 18.7, and then Cameron Sewell at 5.8 points per game. Those are the 3 players averaging 5 or more points per game this season. Both teams have played the same number of games, 12 games total. For Roseburg, they have 7 players averaging 5 points per game or more. They pride themselves on being a well-rounded team that can rely on any one player any night. Obviously, Micah Mendoza has been leading the team at just under 17 points a game. Hunter Fullerton's been in double digits scoring this season. But you've got Boston Williams at just under 10. You've got Owen Bentia off the bench at just over 8 points a game. Asher Vredenberg right around 5. Chase Wilder over 5 points a game. And Mark Oha off the bench as well, averaging over 5 points a game. So Roseburg priding themselves on being a well-rounded team. Howell and Wieland average approximately 69% of the South Medford offense. So we'll see if Roseburg can slow them down here tonight. 2 teams do have a common opponent. That was North Eugene. South Medford beat North Eugene 54-43. Roseburg beat North Eugene 80-47. This is the first game against a Southwest Conference opponent for Roseburg. The last couple of years they've played in the Abby's Holiday Tournament down here in Medford, so they've been able to see some of the Medford schools in the past before they started conference play. So this year a little different. They have not played a Southwest Conference opponent, and we'll see how things go for Roseburg. Starting conference play here tonight. Last time Roseburg won the conference was back in 2010-2011 season. They were co-champions with South Medford. Going on tonight around the conference, Grants Pass is at North Medford. Sheldon's at Willamette. And with an odd number of teams, there's one team that has the night off. South Eugene is off here tonight. All right, it's just about time to get this one underway. So we will get ready to take our final break of the pregame show. And when we come back, we'll get a look at your starting lineups for this evening's matchup. I'm Joey Kieran. It's great to have you with us here as we get ready to start Southwest Conference play. Things getting underway in just a few more moments. We'll take a break for the national anthem, come back with starting lineups, and we'll get you all squared away for tonight's contest from Dennis Murphy Court at South Medford High School in Southwest Conference play. Beginning tonight, Roseburg and South Medford squaring off to begin the league season. Should be a good one, and thanks everybody for tuning in and joining us. This is Roseburg basketball, streaming live online at 541radio.com, and right here on Douglas County's home for sports, it's The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google-certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Mountain Mike's. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Welcome you back here to South Medford High School as the national anthem wraps up for us here, and that means it's just about time for our starting lineups. Tonight's game is brought to you by our friends at Dr. Lance and Randall Family. Visit drrandall.com or call them at 541-378-6694. As we get started, I want to say thanks to Elliot helping out with the video broadcast here tonight. Appreciate him stepping up and being a part of the broadcast this evening. Taking a look at Roseburg, number 9 in the OSA Power Rankings, led by head coach Jordan Humphreys in his 4th year. Starting 5 should look familiar. It's Micah Mendoza, the junior guard, 6'3", averaging 16.8 a game. Will start tonight along with senior guard, 5'9", Carter Stedman, averaging 3.9. Jace Wilder, the senior guard, at 6'2", averaging 6.8 a game. At 9.4 points per game, a senior guard at 5'11", Boston Williams, and then senior guard Hunter Fullerton, averaging 12 a game. On the other side for South Medford, starting lineup is Cameron Sewell, a senior guard at 6 feet tall, averaging 5.8 points a game. First team All-Southwest Conference selection, a junior guard at 6 feet tall, Jackson Wheeland, averages 18.7. Another first team All-Southwest Conference guard at 6 feet 4, a sophomore, Bowden Howell, averaging 20.6 a game. Ty Henry is a senior guard at 6'4". He is averaging just under a point a game. And then Dylan Espinoza is a senior forward at 6 feet 1, and he is averaging 1.7 a game. Getting ready to go for tonight's matchup here from South Medford High School. And Roseburg will be in the road blacks. White numbers on the front and the back. Roseburg across the chest in white. On the other side, the home whites for South Medford. Blue numbers on the front and the back. South across the chest in blue. In the middle, it'll be Bowden Howell jumping against Micah Mendoza. 8 minutes on the board. We're ready to go. Roseburg will be moving left to right on your radio dial. The tip is 1 by South. And bringing the ball in the front court will be Jackson Wheelan. He'll bounce it away right side. With it at the wing is Sewell. Feeds it in underneath and going to the rim. And finishing is Bowden Howell for 2. South Medford takes the early lead 2-0. Roseburg will launch a 3 from the right wing off the back of the iron for Hunter Fullerton. No. Carter Stedman almost there with the rebound. Knocked away. South comes up with it, leading 2-0. Angle to the left side. Howell going to go right to the rim. He'll hang, and Bowden Howell will lay in another one. Makes it 4-0. South Medford in front. Stedman brings it across through the center circle. Moving to our right, tucked in the corner here at South Medford High School. Head fake. Hunter Fullerton picks it up on the right wing. Will toss it back out to the top. Stedman hands it off to Fullerton with the head fake. Pass into the left corner. Williams gets it to Mendoza. Mendoza in the left corner. Drives with the right hand. Gets in, and he'll double clutch and finish. Micah Mendoza for 2. makes it 4-2. Roseburg down, but get on the board for the first time here tonight. Pressure in the backcourt by the Tribe after the made bucket. Out at the top with the basketball, Howell. Assuming that is Whelan. Howell gets it back to Whelan on the give and go underneath. Shot blocked by Wilder. Fullerton with the rebound up the floor quickly for Roseburg. Head fake in the corner. Now out at the top, Fullerton kicks it out to Williams. Left side, three is just a bit short. And underneath with the rebound is Howell. He'll bring it going coast to coast. Goes to the left side of the rim, just off the mark. He was a bit short with the shot, but does draw the whistle. That'll foul will go against Boston Williams, his first. That'll put Bowden Howell at the free throw line, a 65% shooter. As things go quiet here at the gym, he'll hit the first. Second free throw coming here for Howell. He'll get them both. Rolls that second one over the front of the iron and drops it through. 6-2, back to a 4-point lead for South Medford. Crossover and drops it through. 6-2, back to a 4-point lead for South Medford. Crossover, going left side. Stedman to Wilder. He'll drive in, lost the handle, goes right into the hands of Bowden Howell. He'll push it up the floor into the hands of Whelan, and his shot off the mark. Fullerton there to pull in the rebound. Roseburg gets the stop after the steal and transition. A three from the top goes halfway down and spits out for Fullerton. Toss up the floor on the near side with it, Whelan. Toss far corner. Sewell's going to try a corner three. That one flat off the iron. Rebound pulled in by Whelan. He'll save it back in for South Medford. The Panthers get another look at it here. Out at the top with it, Howell. At 6'4", running the point quite a bit here. He'll angle right side, pass it away to Sewell on the right wing. They revert it around the perimeter. Out at the top, a screen. Whelan back to Howell. He'll try the deep three. That looks short. Rebound underneath was Mendoza, and he gets hit in the act of rebounding. And that'll be a first foul of the ball game against South Medford. We are getting a notification about our internet signal being a little bit spotty here, and that was going to be the question going into the broadcast. So if things get a little haywire, you can always listen on the radio at 92.3 FM and 1490 AM, or listen online at 541radio.com. You can catch the audio broadcast if you listen live to the score. Driving in, Roseburg does draw a foul, and that's going to send Jace Wilder to the free throw line. Wilder shooting 58% at the stripe, trying to cut into a 4-point deficit for the Tribe. First free throw is good. Let's go ahead and pause real quick for station identification. This is Roseburg basketball on the score. Two for two at the line for Wilder. Then in transition, Roseburg gets a steal. It looked like Stedman that knocked it away. In transition, Roseburg pass knocked, but it goes right back to Stedman. A Wilder three. Missed everything, but right underneath is Mendoza. He gets the rebound and the offensive putback to tie this one up at 6. 4:51 to go here in the opening quarter. In the backcourt, Howell working against Williams. Brings it into the front court. Left hand, drives in. The runner is good. He went right through Boston Williams. Now a pass got knocked away in the backcourt. Howell got the two, and then it's Whelan that gets his first points of the night. And that's a quick 4-point swing there for South Medford. They lead it 10-6. 4:26 to go. Roseburg had fought back to tie it up and then quickly give up 4. Right side. Jump stop in the lane for Fullerton's got to get rid of it. He will. And a timeout taken by Roseburg. Let's go ahead and take a timeout as well. 30-second timeout here as Roseburg trails 10-6 against South Medford on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Remember the good old days when you didn't have to make an appointment or wait in line for an hour just to talk to your teller, when businesses were local and gave back to the community. At Cascade Community Credit Union, there are some things will never change. We're the only credit union or bank headquartered in Douglas County, and making our members a priority has always been our priority. For easy and simplified banking, visit CCCU. No appointment, just come on in.
Out of that timeout by Roseburg, it's 10-6. South Medford in front. Leading scorer in the game, Bowden Howell, with 8 of the 10 points for the Panthers. Micah Mendoza will have it. You've got Mendoza, Asher Vredenberg, Stedman, Fullerton, and Mark Oha on the floor. Vredenberg draws a foul in the far corner. Into the game comes Tobias Akpan. Akpan, a sophomore, 6'3" forward, picks up his first. That is the third foul against South Medford. Also with a foul is Jackson Whelan. Only players on the floor for South with a foul. Carter Stedman gets underneath, goes high off the glass. He had the bigger body on him, but he's able to get the angle and get it to drop through. 2 points for Carter Stedman. Makes it a 2-point ball game. Stedman marking Whelan out at the top. Gives it to Howell. Howell finds the open man baseline. Akpan, a couple of double clutches, and he will put it through. Getting other players involved for South. A big goal for Coach Whiteman. They know they got the 2 stars. Can they get some of the other guys to do it? As a shot blocked going in, Asher Vredenberg had it redirected out of bounds. I'll stay with Roseburg on the baseline. Owen Bentia will come in for Hunter Fullerton. 3:23 to go in the opening period. Stedman will inbound from the baseline. Out to Bentia. Catch and shoot. Left wing 3. Front iron, no. Underneath, rebound pulled down by Deacon Edgar, who has checked into the game for South. Howell with it left side behind the back dribble, working against Mendoza. Pass it away to Sewell on the left or right wing. Sewell marked by Bentia out to the top. Back to Howell. Straight between the circles. We'll give it up to Whelan. Right side, Sewell looking underneath, not there for any of the big guys. Akpan has it out at the top. We'll pass it away. Taking a long possession here are the Panthers. Crossover, pull-up jumper is good. Jackson Whelan makes it a 6-point ball game, largest lead of the night for the Panthers. Dribbling right side, handoff to Vredenberg. He gets baseline. Skip pass is stolen away by Whelan. He'll race it up the far side. Going to go one-on-one. Steps around Mark Oha and lays it in. 6 points in the period for Whelan, and it's out to an 8-point lead for South. Vredenberg tries to drive. Pass into the left corner. It's a 3. Knocked down by Owen Bentia. And that is the first 3 of the night for Roseburg. They need to get that shot going. They like to take plenty of them. 2 minutes to play here in the opening period. Left side, make that right side. Pass underneath, goes right to Asher Vredenberg. A steal for Roseburg. He'll try to drive in, and he draws a foul against Jackson Whelan, who picks up his second. And that could be big for Roseburg, and it could be tough for South Medford. One of their stars, their second leading scorer already with 2 fouls against him. Checking in will be Colby Schuldberg with 2.8 points per game. He comes in for Cameron Sewell. Whelan's going to stay in the game. I thought that Whelan might be headed to the bench with that second foul. Micah Mendoza checks out of the game. Boston Williams back in for Roseburg. Asher Vredenberg with it on the right wing, and a whistle away from the basketball. It'll stay with Roseburg, I believe. Call that one on Schuldberg, his first. As he just gets into the game, he picks up his first foul quickly. 5 team fouls against South Medford. Roseburg out to the top to Bentia. Back to Williams. Boston pass it away to Vredenberg. Underneath to Stedman. Working against Whelan. Turnaround jumper from the baseline. That shot rims out. Rebound pulled down by the Panthers. 1:35 to go. It's a 5-point ball game. Howell to the right elbow. Working against Boston Williams. Passes it up to Whelan. Whelan, the jumper from long range, falls through. He's got 8. 18-11. South in front. Crossover by Oha. Into the corner. Try to get it back to Williams, and it's taken away by Howell. He goes through 2 defenders. His shot falls off, and Vredenberg pulls down the rebound. He'll get it up the floor to Bentia. Harassed. Gets it back. Puts up a shot. It's blocked. Fight for it underneath. Bentia gets it. They'll call it a foul on him, though, as he tried to rip that one away from Tobias Akpan. So Bentia will get whistled for the foul. Second against Roseburg. Subs coming in. Jace Wilder back into the game. for Roseburg. Asher Vredenberg heads to this bench. Howell has it in the backcourt. 7-point lead for South. Pass up the floor to Schuldberg on the left side. Into the corner. Edgar with it. Pass long range out to the top to Sewell. Back to Edgar in the left corner. Working against Bentia. To the top. Howell comes to get it for South. To the right side. A three for Sewell. No. And a foul is down hard. Goes Mark Oha racing to get to it. Collided with Deacon Edgar, who got the basketball, but whistled for the foul. Edgar, one of those football guys out there, showing a little aggressiveness there. So Roseburg gets it back. 16 fouls now against South. Roseburg could get them into the penalty early. Stedman working left side. Back to Wilder. 24 seconds to play. Roseburg down by 7. Bentia likes a look at a three. It's just short. Underneath the rebound pulled in by Edgar. 14 seconds. Howell with the basketball in the backcourt. Gets it across the timeline just ahead of the 10-second count. 4 seconds to go. Deep three. Rolls off. And a whistle just before. No, they're saying the end of one. There was a whistle. And it's a whistle against South Medford, so Roseburg's going to get 1 and 1. They call the foul against Tobias Ackman. So heading to the free throw line with no time on the clock will be Jace Wilder. We're going to get free throws before the end of this first period. Wilder, a 1 and 1 opportunity. Got to stop the band here. Nobody seems to understand what's happening. Chase Wilder's waiting to shoot the free throws. Yeah, they are going to set it up here, 1 and 1. So Wilder, nobody else out there because it's a 1 and 1 with no time left. Wilder misses the front end, and so that will end the first quarter. At the end of one, it is 18-11. South Medford in front of Roseburg. We'll take a 60-second timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Second quarter action here from South Medford High School. Roseburg trails 18-11. Roseburg will start with the basketball. Into the penalty is South Medford, so Roseburg will get free throw opportunities here in the second quarter. We'll see if they can take advantage. Tried to lob it underneath, did Hunter Fullerton. Stedman, I think, didn't know that pass was intended for him. Takeaway by South Medford. The Panthers with it in the front court. On the right side, Whelan with it. Spin remove back to Sewell on that right wing. Looks for the baseline cutter, and Howell, he gets it. Working against Williams. Fadeaway jumper, short. Rebound pulled down by Sewell. Right now owning the glass is South Medford. Driving in, Whelan makes the extra pass to the open man underneath. Espinoza can't get it to go. The rebound came down to Mendoza, tried to push it up the floor, and it's knocked away, taken by South Medford. Whelan driving in, stops in the lane, kicks back to Sewell from the free throw line. The pull-up jumper, no. Rebound tipped out. Wilder has it. It's going to try and push 1-on-3. Tries to step around the defender, puts up the left-hand shot, no. And now a whistle in the back court. Timeout taken by South Medford. We'll go ahead and use one as well. A 30-second timeout here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
From a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to. By hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations. Top of the Hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Seven-point ball game here in the second quarter. Both teams trying to feel each other out a little bit here. We'll see which team starts to operate at the speed and efficiency that they would like to here as this game wears on. Second quarter action. About a minute and a half ticked away. South Medford with the basketball out of the timeout. To the left side, Edgar gets it to Sewell in the corner. Back out to Howell beyond the perimeter. Doesn't take the shot. Back to Whelan. Double team. He bounces it away to Sewell in the left corner. Back out. Roseburg active on the defensive side, trying to limit the chances here for South Medford. Ball nearly taken away by Mendoza. Out to the top. Edgar a three. Back iron, no. Fight for the rebound. It goes into the hands of Wilder. He was there to rip that one away. Pretty contested fight for that rebound. Up the floor, Stedman. A three from the right side. Boston Williams well off the mark. Roseburg has not been able to find their touch from long range yet. 5:56 here in the second quarter. Howell pulls it back out. Resets to the right side for Sewell. Marked by Fullerton. Jab step. Left-hand dribble out to the top. Howell comes to get it. Looks left side to Whelan. At the wing. Whelan drives left hand, gets in, steps around the defender, pass back out to Sewell. Sewell will try to attack through the lane on the left side. Straight up the hands for Boston Williams, but he is whistled. Will pick up his second. Third team foul against Roseburg. It'll be a shooting foul for Cameron Sewell. He'll head to the line where he is. I'll get you his percentage here in just a second. First of the two is good. Cameron Sewell came in shooting at 67% from the free throw line. Into the game comes Ty Henry for Deacon Edgar. Boston Williams will sub out for Owen Bentia. Second free throw coming here for Cameron Sewell. Tonight's game brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Sewell hits them both. His first points of the game makes it a 9-point ball game, largest lead of the night for South. Behind the back dribble, Mendoza finds Bentia for a three from the right corner. No, fight for the loose ball. It's Sewell that comes up with it. Up the floor to Espinoza. Tried to kick it to Henry. They do keep it in bounds. Howell, a deep three, knocks it through. His first three of the night. And it's the largest lead of the game for South Medford at 12 points. And time called because there was an untied shoe for a player on the floor. Roseburg in transition wanted to push it, and it looks as if Coach Jordan Humphreys not happy that they stopped the momentum of the ball game because a guy had to tie his shoe. Tonight's game brought to you by Barnes Heating & Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Roseburg's got to get some offense going. They've had opportunities, haven't been able to see a lot of shots fall. Driving baseline, a whistle. And it is a foul. I was hoping that Hunter Fullerton didn't step on the baseline. They call the foul, I believe, against Cam Sewell, his first. Up to 8 fouls on the Panthers now. And it'll send Hunter Fullerton to the line to shoot 1 and 1. He hits the first. Fullerton shooting 50% from the line this season. That has been an area Roseburg would like to see some improvement, shooting 63% at the stripe coming into tonight's ball game. Right now they are 2 for 3. Make that 3 for 4 as Fullerton hits them both. Back to a 10-point ball game. 4:55 to go. The free throw line could be Roseburg's savior here in this first half. if they can continue to get there and hit him. Howell with it out at the top. Now it is Fullerton guarding him. A 3 left side. No, not on the mark for Whelan. It's Bentia that pulled down the rebound. Stedman finds Mendoza open in the left corner. A 3 misses everything. Tap up. The rebound comes down to Stedman. Roseburg a second chance. Back out to Fullerton. He'll drive left side. Gets in with the left hand. Hunter Fullerton, his first points. His first field goal of the night, I should say. And then a steal. That ball get tipped in. I think that ball got tipped into the bucket. And I believe they give it to Jace Wilder for the 2. I was looking down and then back up, and all of a sudden the ball was going through the hoop. It is 23-17, a 16-point game. A whistle on the other side. Foul called against Owen Bentia, his second. Be an inbound from the far sideline for Ty Henry. Roseburg back within 6. They trailed by as many as 12 here in this second quarter. Carter Stedman checked out. Mark Oha into the game for Roseburg. Pull-up jumper mid-range off the mark. Fullerton down with the rebound after the miss by Howell. Up the floor, Wilder with the Euro step. Lets the defender fly by, and Roseburg on a run. They're back within 4, 23-19. Whelan brings it up. Pass away right side. Sewell with it. Find the cutter underneath. Sewell is too short. Bentia with the defensive board. Pressing it up the floor to Wilder in the right corner. Out to Oha for a 3. He rattles one through, and Roseburg might be finding a groove. Just the second 3 of the game. First for Mark Oha, and Roseburg's back within 1. 23-22, and it forces a timeout by South Medford. Let's take a quick 30-second break and finish out the first half when we come back on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Roseburg basketball here on the Score is brought to you by Roseburg Honda. Buying a car can be a hassle, but at Roseburg Honda, it's different. Customer satisfaction is their highest priority. Visit Roseburg Honda, where they treat you like family because they are family. 23-22 your score. Roseburg outpacing South Medford here in the second period, 11-5. 3:29 to go. Still a lot of time before halftime. Roseburg will put on the full court press out of the timeout by South Medford. Panthers are in the penalty. Roseburg only 14 fouls. Pass up the floor on the right side to Whelan. Jab step, goes with the left hand, brings it to the top to Sewell at the left side. Well beyond the perimeter here. Sewell will drive left hand, makes the pass to Espinoza, out to Henry for a corner 3, and his sidewinder will fall. Ty Henry, averaging less than a point a game, hits a 3 from the right corner. Makes it a 4-point ball game, 26-22. Roseburg is not led in this matchup. Hunter Fullerton gets it left wing. Oha gets it at the top, just hit a big 3. He'll drive left side with the left hand. The touch off the glass. And a big 5 points here in the period for Mark Oha. Quickly up the floor comes South Medford. Sewell draws it back out, gets it out to Howell. He's going to drive left side. He shed Jace Wilder, but he was not able to get the finish. Wilder down with the rebound. Roseburg will push it up the floor. Pass out in the right corner. A couple of head fakes and a travel call on Micah Mendoza. So South Medford gets the ball back after a nice defensive stop by Roseburg. They couldn't capitalize to either tie or take the lead on that last possession. 2:26 to go. South with the basketball. Deacon Edgar back into the game for the Panthers. Pass up the floor, get it to Apkin. He makes the baseline pass to Edgar. He got underneath, and he waits for the defense to go by and puts it off the glass for another 2. 28-24. Bentia drives in, cradles the basketball. The reverse lay-in, no good. Howell with the rebound to Whelan as South Medford on the attack. Whelan spots up for the right side three. No, underneath Wilder with the rebound. He skied up to get to that one, his fourth here in the first half. Driving left side, Mendoza got underneath, off balance, got his feet back underneath him, able to touch it off the glass and make it a 2-point ball game. 28-26, 1:45 to go here in the first half. Left side with the basketball, Roseburg, his pass tipped, it makes its way out to the top to Howell. Standing on Dennis Murphy Court, as well as the logo for Dennis Murphy Court. They work to the right side. The ball went to Ackman, and he had Hunter Fullerton on his back. Hunter tried to reach around to poke it away. Gets whistled. First foul for him. 15th foul against Roseburg. Asher Vredenberg will check into the ball game. Vredenberg comes in for Owen Bentia. They are going to change it from a baseline inbound out to the far sideline. South Medford needs somebody to inbound the ball. The officials kind enough to wait for someone to realize that and come over to get it. Inbound will go to Whelan out near midcourt. 1:25 to play here in the first half. Howell with it on the left side, working against Vredenberg. Backing his way in, double team, pass it away to Ackman for the two from the free throw line. And South Medford getting some production from the rest of their lineup. 4-point lead, 30-26. Chase Wilder with it straight away, back to Oha. Gets it to Mendoza, who draws it out to the center circle. 1 minute to go in the opening half. Left side, Hunter Fullerton out at the top. He pulls up for the right elbow jumper, and he drops it through. Teardrop shot there for Hunter Fullerton. Roseburg able to get some offensive momentum here in the second quarter, under a minute to play. 2-point ball game and a whistle before this shot. Mark Oha had gotten his hands in there, and they do call that one against Oha, his first. 16th foul against Roseburg. Ackman will check out. Espinoza back into the game. Lob goes right in front of the rim. Howell can't finish. Edgar gets the rebound. A long two by Whelan is good. His first points of the second quarter. 4-point ball game. 32 seconds. And up the floor. Nearly taken away by Edgar. Pass by Fullerton. Tipped into the South Medford bench. Wilder will inbound it from right at the end of the bench near the scorer's table. Hunter hands it in to Mark Oha. 30 seconds to go here in the opening half. Mendoza, a couple of head fakes, spin, goes left side. He got airborne. The shot rolled 360 and then drops off the iron. No good. Heading to the free throw line. No, they call an offensive. I thought he was going to the line for too easy. Unless they called a carry or something there. Yeah, they didn't put up a foul against Mendoza, so he must have traveled or something. I thought it looked like a pretty good move. Thought he was heading to the line for two. Whelan with it. Gets it right back. 10 seconds to go. 4-point lead for South Medford. Trying to get the last bucket here. Whelan driving in. Gets free on the right side. The scoop shot with the right hand is good. And Roseburg will not get off a final shot before the halftime break. At the end of the first half, it is 34-28. South Medford in front of Roseburg. We'll go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at how the first half of tonight's ball game played out. Roseburg and South Medford in a competitive one early. 4-point lead for the Panthers here on 541radio.com and on the score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Mountain Mike's, pizza the way it ought to be.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Welcome to halftime as Roseburg trails against South Medford 34-28 here at the halftime break in the start of Southwest Conference play for the Panthers and the Indians. Competitive first half, but it has been handled by South Medford. The Panthers have led the entire way. Roseburg has not held the lead, but trailed by as many as 12 in the second quarter. Fought their way back. Roseburg was down 18-11 at the end of the first quarter. But then they went on an 11-5 run in that second quarter, and they cut down a 12-point deficit down to, 11-5. That's 6 point, down to 6 points. I mean, they've got it down to a point where they could have tied or taken a lead, and were unable to do so. But they did fight their way back into this game after being down by double figures and trail by 4 here at the halftime break. Opportunities have been there. Roseburg shots just haven't really dropped, but they've been doing well with getting some shots up. Just need to start to see some of them drop from long range. Roseburg usually gets anywhere from 6 to more three-pointers in a ball game. Only 2 so far in the first half. And on the other side, South Medford with 2 3-pointers in their first half as well. So both sides looking to find their shots against the defenses. And right now it's South Medford that's been able to take advantage, leading this one 34-28. Taking a quick look at scores from earlier, the Roseburg boys JV team falling 75-74 against South Medford. South hitting the game-winning shot with about 3 seconds to go. Roseburg got a half-court shot up at the buzzer, but it was off the mark, and they fall tonight 75-74. Earlier today, the Roseburg girls JV team falls against South Medford 46-24. And at halftime of the girls' game right now, it is 42-6. South Medford in front. South Medford currently the number 4 ranked team in the latest OSAA Today Coaches Poll. Kind of surprising, the OSAA Coaches Polls for the boys basketball. You've got Grants Pass, you've got Roseburg, you've got South Medford, top teams in the conference, teams with decent records, and none of them getting any love whatsoever in the most recent 6A Coaches Poll for boys basketball. So we'll see if Roseburg can turn that around. Of course, they want to try and turn things around with the second half coming up right now, trailing by, I think I keep saying 4. They are trailing by 6 here at the halftime break. My apologies. 34-28 is your score here at the break. We'll go ahead and take another 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll look at individual statistics from the first half. Don't forget, in the postgame show, we'll name our Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game. Mountain Mike's Pizza the way it ought to be. Stop by to fill up after home games, or you can stop by to watch the live stream during away games there at Mountain Mike's Pizza. We'll take the timeout when we come back. Individual stats from the first half and get you ready for the second half of tonight's ball game. I'm Joey Kieran. This is Roseburg Basketball on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 4th United Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Working from a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to. By hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations, top of the hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors at home or on the road at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Back here at the break, Roseburg trailing South Medford 34-28. Take a look at scoring from the first half of this one, as Roseburg trails. Pretty dispersed scoring for Roseburg, as they've got 3 players with 6 points. Micah Mendoza, Jace Wilder, and Hunter Fullerton all with 6 points in the ball game to lead the way. Mark Oha off the bench with 5. Off the bench with 3 points is Owen Bentia, and then 2 points for Carter Stedman. Your scorers in the first half. By my tally, leading in rebounding is Jace Wilder with 4. And on the other side, 12 points for Jackson Whelan, 11 for Bowden Howell. Both in double figures there to lead the way. Then you've got 4 points for Tobias Ackman off the bench, 3 for Ty Henry, 2 for Cameron Sewell, and 2 for Deacon Edgar. That is a look at scoring from the first half of this one. Don't forget, it's not just scoring that we're paying attention to. We're also following the rebounds tonight as well, how the two teams do on the glass. And that is because we've got your In the Paint rebound leader presented by Colorcraft this season, the only Benjamin Moore dealer in Douglas County. So when it's time to get in the paint, you can expect perfect matches with Colorcraft and Benjamin Moore. Remember, Colorcraft, they're a paint store, not a paint department. Just about ready for the start of the third quarter here. We head to the third quarter. Roseburg will be moving now right to left on your radio dial. And on the other side, South Medford will be going left to right. South will have the basketball to start the third quarter with their 6-point lead. Cameron Sewell pass it to Espinoza at the top of the key to Henry. Back to Whelan on the right side. His runner, the teardrop too long underneath. Fight for it. Mendoza will come away with the rebound, and Roseburg gets a stop to begin the third quarter. Boston Williams, Micah Mendoza, Carter Stedman, Jace Wilder, and Hunter Fullerton on the floor for Roseburg to start the second half, and Boston Williams will get his first 3 of the night, and Roseburg scores first here in the second half to make it a 3-point ball game. 34-31. Howell to Sewell on the right wing. Wants to lob underneath to Espinoza. Help defense comes back out to Sewell. He'll give it up out to the top to Whelan. Spin move to the free throw line. Finds the open man on the baseline. That is Espinoza. Good court vision there for Whelan. Finds that open man as the defense collapsed on him at the free throw line. Stedman between the circles. Looks right, looks left, picks up the dribble, bounce it to the right elbow. That is Wilder, gets it to Fullerton for the three. That one clanks off the left side, no good. Hunter Fullerton without a three tonight is a bit of a surprise so far. Into the corner, Sewell back out to Howell on the right wing. He'll take off and drive, pulls up from the free throw line. His shot dances on the iron before it will take a trip through the nylon. Howell drops in two. On the other side, up the floor quickly, it's Jace Wilder for two. And a whistle will stop play as South was trying to go quick. 38-33. It's Carter Stedman committing a foul that stops play. Stedman will pick up his first of the second half for either side. Whelan working against the full court pressure, will race by it, makes the pass, baseline, Espinoza. And South Medford figuring out the way around that full court press. Roseburg will race it up quickly. Stedman goes right side. He hangs in the air, and Carter Stedman will get another two. He's got 4 in the ball game. Makes it a 5-point game. 6 minutes to go. Roseburg pressing in the backcourt. That ball was taken away, but a timeout before Hunter Fullerton got the steal. South Medford nearly turns it over. They'll burn their first time out of the second half. Let's take a 30-second break. Be back with more here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
South Medford able to keep the possession with the timely timeout. They will have the ball in the backcourt. And 6:05 to go in the third quarter, leading at 40-35. Tonight's ball game brought to you by Flyway Travel. When you get ready to take that dream trip, contact the travel experts at Flyway Travel. 672-5701. Whelan into the front court, bounce it away to Howell as Roseburg trying to extend the pressure underneath. It is Ty Henry. And South is just able to find the open man beyond the defense and break that press. Williams out to Wilder, back out to Stedman. 7-point ball game. South has been able to extend the lead here to start the third quarter. Handoff, Fullerton draws it back out. Goes to the left hand, drives in. Defense collapses around him, and he'll get that one to rattle through. That was a tough shot to drop in. 42-37. Wilder pressing in the backcourt against Howell. He'll race up the floor. He's got Wilder right on him. Blocking foul called against Boston Williams as Howell goes right into him. Second foul of the second half. That'll be the third on Boston Williams. And it sends Bowden Howell to the free throw line where he shoots 65%. He is 2 for 2 at the stripe tonight. And he hits the first. Subs coming in for Roseburg, Mark Oha and Owen Bentia. It'll be Boston Williams and Jace Wilder that'll get a breather. Tonight's contest brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Hunter Fullerton also went to the bench. Keegan Cleary has come in for him. Both free throws good for Bowden Howell. And Roseburg steps on the baseline on the inbound pass and turns it over. Another sub coming in. Asher Friedenberg will check in for Micah Mendoza. So middle mistake there by the Tribe. Trailing by 7. Inbound. Went to Howell. He tipped it right back to Whelan. And Whelan, a turnaround jumper. He buries that one. And South Medford pulling out in front by 9. Stedman out to Bentia on the left wing. Fights a pass through the defense to Vredenberg. Back out. Stedman drives baseline out to Bentia. He'll drive to the free throw line to Vredenberg. Out to Cleary. He mishandles the pass. Gets it to Oha. Back to Vredenberg. Attacking from the left side. And a travel. So Roseburg gives it back to South Medford again. A lot of unforced errors here on the Tribe in this third quarter so far. Always a tough place to play on the road. Roseburg is actually 0-7 against South Medford in the 3 years previously for head coach Jordan Humphreys. Howell will race it into the front court. Whips a pass to the right side for Cameron Sewell. His three rolls through. Cameron Sewell, his first field goal of the night. And South Medford, a team not known for scoring in bunches and not known to have a lot of support offensively, is getting it. A cross-court pass. Owen Bentia well off the mark on a three, trying to save the rebound in bounds. Keegan Cleary unable to find a teammate to get it to. 49-37, back out to a 12-point lead for South Medford. Roseburg with 9 points in the third quarter. South Medford with 15. 4:16 to go. Roseburg's got to find the defense again. Pass right side, Sewell back out to the Wheeland at the top. He drives right side of the lane, pulls up in the middle, and knocks down another jumper. These guys can hit the mid-range. It's not all about the three-pointer, and it's not all right at the rim. They can hit it from mid-range. Pretty impressive here for South Umpqua. Cleary back out to Oha. Hands it off to Stedman. Crossover in the lane. Spin move. Had it knocked out of his hands. It'll stay with Roseburg. 51-37, the 14-point lead, largest of the game for the Panthers. Espinoza will get a breather in for him. Tobias Ackman. And coming into the game for Roseburg, Hunter Fullerton for Keegan Cleary. Fullerton gets it on the right wing. Backing his way in. Double team nearly took it away from him. Got to find a teammate. Gets it to Stedman. Stedman trying to direct traffic. Will bring it out to the top. Sends Bentia to the right corner. Gets it to Fullerton. Catch and shoot on the three. That's off the front iron. No. Vredenberg underneath. Couldn't pull it in. And the rebound comes down to Howell, who will race it up the floor. Vredenberg, they're harassing him the whole way. Edgar back to Howell. The three. No. Vredenberg with the rebound. Tosses it in as he's falling out of bounds. Roseburg gets the stop. They needed one of those. Vredenberg with it on the left side. 14-point ball game here for South Medford. Stedman in the corner. Back out. Fullerton head fake. Wants to try and drive instead. Picks it up. Back out to Oha. Mark driving left side. Lost his footing. Ball on the ground. Roseburg on the ground. Up the floor. And laying it in. Cameron Sewell. 53-37. Driving baseline. Bentia out to Vredenberg for a three. Asher off the left iron. No. Underneath. Rebound to Edgar. Up the floor. Right side. Wheelan into Asher Vredenberg. Count the bucket and a foul. This ran right over Asher Vredenberg, who must not have had his feet set. And it is now an 18-point ball game. South Medford in front, and Wheeland at the free throw line looking to add to it. It has just been an absolute ice-cold stretch for the Roseburg Indians. That'll bring starters back into the game for the Tribe. Boston Williams, Micah Mendoza both checking back in. The lone starter on the bench right now is Jace Wilder. Tough stretch here for Roseburg. Offense has just not been their favor here tonight on the road. Free throw no good for Wheelan. Rebound out to Fullerton. Boston Williams, right side, gets it, drives, gets it back to Stedman. He throws up a shot. No, wasn't really expecting the pass from Williams. And the South rips away the defense, the rebound. Howell behind the back dribble, working against Stedman, gets free. Draws another whistle. And not a shooting foul. Well, the fouls in the first half, South Medford got into the penalty pretty quickly. Here in the second half, it's been all Roseburg. 4 team fouls against Roseburg, none for South Medford. Ty Henry will check in as that was Asher Vredenberg picking up his second. Inbound for Henry from the baseline to Howell. Marked by Fullerton. Backs his way in. Turnaround, baseline jumper a la Dirk Nowitzki. Makes it look about the same. Buries it in, a 20-point ball game for South Medford. This one's gotten out of hand. Ackman will get a whistle for a foul, his third, as he clips Hunter Fullerton. Non-shooter, so on the floor in the baseline. Fullerton inbound to Williams, left corner. Back out, Fullerton, head fake, will drive to the top of the arc, backs his way in, back to Vredenberg, driving left side, puts it up, no. Rebound pulled down by Henry. A loose ball in the backcourt is picked up by Howell. Henry gets it, looks for help, bounces it away to Howell. Second half adjustments have been in favor of South Medford, leading now by 20. Right side, pass away at the wing. Henry to the free throw line, kick out to the left corner. Howell gets it, going to drive left side, gets airborne, too strong, but a whistle. And it'll be a shooting foul against Roseburg. Call this one against Boston Williams, who picks up his fourth. It'll send Bowden Howell to the free throw line, where he is 4 for 4. Tonight's ball game brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza, a legendary pizza tradition. Howell hits the first. Mark Oha comes in for Boston Williams. Chase Wilder in for Asher Vredenberg. Second free throw coming up. Right-handed shooter Howell spins it around and drops it through. 59-37, a 22-point lead for the Panthers. Underneath, Jace Wilder got right to the rim and hit by Ackman. And that'll send Wilder to the free throw line. He is 2 for 3 at the stripe. Wilder has 8 points in the ball game. He is tied with Hunter Fullerton for the team lead. He hits at the free throw line. That stops a long run by South Medford there. Roseburg had been stuck at 37 for quite some time. Second free throw coming here for Wilder. And he gets them both. Only one he missed was the 1-and-1 at the end of the first quarter. Almost 1 minute to play here in the third quarter. It's a 20-point ball game, 59-39. Up the floor, nobody on Ty Henry, who gets the easy lay-in. Roseburg's press is just not working for him tonight. Stop and go for Oha, doesn't fall. And now in the backcourt, Roseburg nearly with a steal. Takeaway off of South Medford. Roseburg gets the ball back. Roseburg with 45.3 seconds to play in the third quarter. Mendoza gets it, wants to attack, gets left side, and he'll lay it in. We have not seen much from him here in the second half so far. That's his first points. Wheelan with it. Edgar's way up the field calling for, or up the floor calling for it. He didn't get a clean pass. Back out to Howell, to Wheelan. Right side. Pass back out. Howell gets it to Wheelan, going left side. 13 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Henry gets it. Espinoza on the right wing. To Wheelan at the top. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Taken away. A half-court shot off the mark by Jace Wilder, and we go to the fourth quarter. Our score right now, 61-41. It is South Medford in front of Roseburg. Back with the fourth quarter here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Fourth quarter here from South Medford High School. Roseburg trailing in this one by 20. 61-41. Tribe starts with the basketball. Jace Wilder gets underneath, puts up a shot. It was underneath the backboard. Awkward angle for him, and he couldn't get it to drop. South Medford with the basketball. Looking for the open man underneath. Off the hands of Dylan Espinoza. And turnover by the Panthers. Roseburg needing a huge fourth quarter after getting outscored 27-13 in the third. 7.5 to go. Mendoza driving left side, nearly has it poked away by Henry. Behind the back dribble for Fullerton. He gets underneath. He got hit. That got him right across the wrist, and no whistle there, but the ball goes out off of South Medford and Ty Henry. 7:24. Stedman to inbound. Gets it to Mendoza. Head fake. Drives in. Spin move back to his left. And a foul on the floor. Doesn't count the bucket. That'll be Ty Henry with his first. Out to the top to Wilder. He'll drive and gets blocked by Espinoza. Caught him out of position. And South Medford starting to rack up some fouls quickly here. Inbound from the far sideline for Mark Oha. Haven't used up a full minute yet in this fourth quarter. Mendoza gives it away to Wilder in the corner. Tries to set the screen. Wilder can't attack. Back out to Stedman. Stedman dribbles in. Caught in the lane, kicks back out to Oha. Mark drives in, finds Wilder open for a left side three, and Jace Wilder having a nice night. He puts a three through. Roseburg cuts the deficit down to 17. 6:50 to play. Wilder now with 13 points, leading scorer for Roseburg here this evening. Comes out to Mark Howell. Howell just right to the middle of the lane. Throws up an awkward shot, though, and Oha comes down with a rebound. He'll race up the floor, gets it to Fullerton. He'll drive right side against Henry. He gets knocked off, though. Cannot get to his spot. Back out to Oha, driving to the free throw line. Stedman drives baseline, wanted the skip pass, didn't take it. Still has an opportunity, lobs back out to Oha, and a timeout taken by Roseburg. Let's go ahead and use one up as well here. Timeout for the Tribe, trailing 61-44 here from South Medford High School on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. .620 to go here in the fourth quarter. Roseburg trailing South Medford 61-44. Before we get back out of the timeout by the Roseburg Indians, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg basketball on the Score. Roseburg needing a huge fourth quarter. Time is not in their favor, but they do have the basketball out of the timeout. They scored first so far here in the fourth quarter. Need to start seeing some of those threes drop through. Jace Wilder has one. Behind the back dribble, goes to the left side, and he gets hit. A foul called against Edgar. Runs his hands through his hair as he was a little surprised he was the one whistled for that foul. His second. 5 team fouls against South Medford. Left side, Oha. And now a whistle away from the basketball. It's going to stay on this end of the floor. They call this one against, I think, Sewell. He'll pick up his second. 16 fouls now against South Medford. They're adding up quickly. Oha gets it out at the top. Roseburg driving in. Oha got free. His scoop shot does fall. Mark Oha with 7 in the ball game. 61-46. Stedman racing up floor to catch up with Whelan. He gets it to the right wing, into the corner. Schuldberg can dribble it out, and he will draw a foul. That's Mark Oha whistled, and that will be 6 team fouls against Roseburg. South Medford, time on their side. They could just wear down the clock with a long offense possession. Roseburg trying to force the issue. But obviously fouls will start leading to free throws here. Whelan driving in, stops at the free throw line. Back out. Behind the back dribble for Sewell. Looking to his left. Gets it to Schuldberg. Baseline. Whelan backing in. Back out to Sewell at the top. South Medford wearing time. Sewell drives through the middle, throws up an awkward shot. Doesn't get a whistle, doesn't get a good look at it. Stedman down with the rebound to push up the floor, and Roseburg unable to do anything with it. It was taken away easily by South Medford. Bowden Howell wants a deep three. No, underneath, and it's a Roseburg basketball as Schuldberg is who the official sees as the last man to touch that one. So it'll be Roseburg basketball. Substitutions in for the Indians. Carter Stedman, who's been playing a lot of minutes tonight. Every time I look up, he's out there. While other starters are on the bench getting a breather, he will get a rest here. Boston Williams back in with his 4 fouls. Driving in, Oha into the corner to Wilder. Looking underneath for Oha, it's just not there. Out at the top, Oha, he'll pull up for the 3. That one, no, a little strong. And the rebound tip to Edgar. Howell wants to speed it up, gets down the floor quickly, into the corner. Schuldberg back to Howell, and it's off his fingertips, out of bounds. Roseburg basketball with 4:28 to play in the ball game. So far, South has not scored for the first 3.5 minutes of this fourth quarter, but Roseburg's only been able to manage 5 points to cut into the deficit. They trail 61-46. Mendoza with it, left wing, wants to drive baseline, comes to a stop, gets the defender in the air, puts up the shot, no, gets the whistle. And now South over the limit, into the penalty, Roseburg into the bonus. That will be the first against Bowden Howell. Howell with 19 points in the ball game. At the free throw line, Micah Mendoza hits the first. Tonight's ball game is brought to you by Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Second free throw rattles through for Mendoza. Gets his first 2 free throw attempts of the night. Down to a 13-point ball game. Roseburg with a little bit of life if they can keep it going. Sewell across the timeline, right side, a 3 by Whelan. That's not what you needed. He gets a 3, and it is back to a 16-point ball game at 64-48. 3:58 to go. Timeout taken down on the floor. We'll take a 30-second break. Roseburg basketball trailing South Medford on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
For For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
.358 to go in the fourth quarter. I believe this is the final score on the girls' game tonight. You knew it was going to be a tough test for Roseburg. Tough way to start out the Southwest Conference schedule for the girls. 79-14 South Medford. Number 4 ranked Panthers get the win to start out conference play at Roseburg. The boys are looking to try and start out with a win against Roseburg here and stretch their winning streak in conference to at least 11 games. I'm not sure how it might have gone the year before for him. A 3 from straight away from Mendoza. No. Rebound tipped by Williams in right into the hands of Whelan. He'll push it up the floor quickly. His shot redirected, though, and Boston there for that rebound. Pulls it down. Up the floor to Mendoza. Call a blocking foul against South Medford. I was expecting a player control foul, but instead Cam Sewell is called for the blocking foul, and heading to the free throw line will go Micah Mendoza. It is a 16-point ball game. 3:35 to go. It's not out of reach, but Roseburg's going to have to be practically perfect down the stretch here. Get a little bit of benefit from some misses by South if they can. South Medford last year going 10-0 in conference play. There was some uncertainty about exactly what they might be like this year in conference play, and Roseburg came in with a hot streak, 7-game winning streak. But conference play starting out, South Medford doing what South Medford does. First free throw, Mendoza unable to get it to fall. South Medford season high of 70 points, so they're not far from that mark. Tonight's ball game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. Boston Williams and Jace Wilder will get a breather with 3:35 to go. 1 out of 2 at the line for Mendoza. 64-49. Mendoza into extra double digits. Steal taken away by Roseburg. Fullerton gets to Oha in the corner. A pass through the defense out to Bentia. His 3, no. Rebound tipped, goes to Micah Mendoza. They'll call a foul on the floor. It's going to be Asher Friedenberg going to the free throw line. And I believe that's Cam Sewell picking up his 4th. Yeah, it will be. Espinoza will head back into the game for Schuldberg. 3:19 to play in this one. Roseburg down by 15. Friedenberg to the free throw line, looking for his first points of the night. He hits the front end. Tonight's ball game also sponsored by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Second free throw for Friedenberg. Gets them both. His first points of the night, 64-51, 13-point game. Roseburg looking to try and find a couple of takeaways here. Whelan with it, drives to the free throw line, pulls up for the jumper. It's short, rebound tipped up. It's Mendoza with the rebound. He'll race it into the front court. Roseburg looking to try and act quickly. Oha with it, out to the top. Deep 3 by Fullerton. That one halfway down before it comes out. Knocked to the ground is Friedenberg by Espinoza. The rebound goes to Howell. He'll attack into the middle. He puts up a shot and will get the bucket and a foul. Oh, man, Hunter Fullerton, a tough night tonight, has not made a 3, and that one was about as far down as it could be without counting. Foul goes against Hunter Fullerton, his second. It'll send Howell to the free throw line, where he is a perfect 6 for 6. Bentia and Friedenberg will take a seat on the bench as Roseburg Substitutes back in Boston Williams and Jace Wilder. Free throw and one goes through for Howell. 67-51. Driving through the middle and a whistle. South Medford didn't like the call. They called that one. I believe Espinoza was whistled for it. His third. It'll send Micah Mendoza to the free throw line. That's what Roseburg needs. It stops the clock and gives them the opportunity to score some points. The basketball has been anywhere but in the hands of the officials as South Medford's throwing it one side of the floor to the other as they were hoping to get the breakout takeaway there. We are into the double bonus, so this is 2 free throws coming up here for Roseburg and Mendoza, but he misses the front. Front into that one. Friedenberg and Bentia will check in. They may be looking to utilize some fouls from some of these guys off the bench, with Williams already 4 fouls. Wilder, I don't have him down for any. Second free throw for Mendoza is good. 67-52, 15-point lead. Whelan with it, up the floor to Edgar. He'll pull up for the 2. Rebound tipped out to Roseburg. And now back into the game will come Wilder and Williams. Get the offense in there. Friedenberg and Bentia come out. So 15-point game. Roseburg playing the substitution foul game. Trying to see if they can conserve the clock as much as possible. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. They are wiping up more sweat off the floor. Mendoza will inbound. They're putting some full court pressure on here by South Medford. Oha with it in the backcourt. And it is a soft pressure by the Panthers. Oha to the left elbow. Going to attack. Got in the air and draws a whistle. Oha was losing a handle on the basketball, and Whelan can't believe he got whistled for that one. A lot of theatrics after these whistles. On the other end, it was down at that basket. Bowden Howell was thrown down a 360 imaginary dunk. Mark Oha will not make the front end of his 2 free throws. And again, free throw shooting coming back to hurt Roseburg. 4 misses tonight. Second free throw does go through for Mark Oha. 67-53. Pass tipped in the backcourt. Oha comes away with it. Sets up for a straightaway 3. Back iron. Doesn't fall through. Whelan down with the rebound. He'll dribble through traffic in the backcourt. Pass it across the timeline. Gets it back. That was a golden opportunity there for Roseburg to try and cut it down to a 9-point ball game. Make it an 11-point ball game. Sewell to Espinoza. Finds the cutter Howell through the middle. He'll pull it back out. Under 2 minutes to play. And South is just trying to make Roseburg foul. Mendoza comes out. Roseburg not committing the foul. That ball tipped out of bounds. Going to send Stedman back into the game. Ty Henry will check in as well for South Medford. 14-point ball game and a timeout taken by Roseburg. 67-53 is your score. Time running out on the Tribe with 1:39 left to play. And Roseburg trying to come up with a game plan that might conserve the clock and keep them in this one. Other games again from the conference going on tonight. Grants Pass at North Medford. Sheldon at Willamette. South Eugene had the night off here tonight. Coming up next for Roseburg, they've got a week off. No game on Friday this week. They will be hosting North Medford coming up on Tuesday next week. As for South Medford, they will be at Sheldon in Eugene coming up on Friday for their next game. That's a look at what's coming up on the schedule for Roseburg. You can follow the broadcast schedule by going to 541radio.com and checking that out there. Head to the Score homepage and see all of our information there. Inbound for Edgar on the near sideline. Gets it to Howell. He drives baseline. Got it to Whelan. Layup, no, but a whistle late. Minute 34 to play. Jackson Whelan will head to the free throw line. His first trip there tonight. Whelan with 21 in the ball game. 22 for Bowden Howell. Whelan's first free throw is good. He is a 79% free throw shooter. Not the guy that you would like to be sending to the free throw line. Back to a 15-point ball game. It was as much as 22 in this second half. Roseburg has trailed the entire way. Both free throws go through for Whelan. 1:32 to play. Boston Williams to the free throw line. Out to the left side. Hunter Fullerton drives in. His lay-in doesn't go. Rebound tipped out to South Medford. And it is just going to be one of those kind of nights tonight for Roseburg, specifically for Hunter Fullerton, who's had a tough time tonight. The shot just not quite dropping for him. He does have 8 points in the ball game, but his three-point shot has just been a little off the mark. Same can be said for most of the Roseburg Indians tonight. Usually a much better three-point shooting team. Fullerton, a reach in, nearly knocked it away. But he is whistled for the foul, and he will send Whelan to the free throw line. Fullerton's third foul. 1:13 to go in this one. And Roseburg might be waving the white flag here, or they're looking for guys to commit fouls. They've got some of the swing players ready to check in. Whelan will hit the front end. Gets himself a second attempt coming up here. Tying the season high for South Medford here tonight, 70 points. Their length has been, I think, an issue for Roseburg tonight. That affected them. Starters will sub out for Roseburg here, so yeah, it looks like the Roseburg Indians will wave the white flag a little bit. Get some guys some minutes here tonight. And let this one wrap up. It's a 17-point ball game. Second free throw for Whelan, good. New season high for South Medford, 71-53. Roseburg in danger of setting a new season low. Julian Lopez into the ball game. Owen Bentia, Keegan Cleary, Vincent Ash, and Asher Vredenberg. Lopez had a nice night in the JV game. He really got hot. Bentia is going to drive. Hooks a pass to the right corner to Ash. Back out to Cleary. 54 seconds to go. Vredenberg wants to drive. He gets airborne. His shot, no. Tip out Roseburg basketball with 48.6 to play. Ty Henry back into the game for South Medford. And now here comes the back end of the bench for South. And starters Bowden Howell and Jackson Whelan will check out. And so does Ty Henry, who just came into the ballgame. Vredenberg gets it. Baseline jumper. He knocks down the two. His first field goal of the night. 71-55. Pressure in the backcourt by Roseburg with the basketball. Schuldberg gets the ball back to Cole Adee. Ackman bounce it underneath to Jed Johnson. Tosses a pass out to the top. Right side, Adee with it. Jump stop in the middle. Lost the handle on the basketball. A kick ball. 19.1 seconds to go. Kick basketball. I think it was on Roseburg. Yeah, it was. South Medford will get it. And now we've got a question as the officials will meet. I think they might be given. They got a technical foul called on South Medford. I didn't really get hear much of an explanation on that. No real explanation on the technical foul, but it sends Asher Friedenberg to the free throw line. Knocks down the first one. .1 seconds to go. Roseburg will get the basketball out of the technical foul. Friedenberg hits both of the technical free throws. So Roseburg will not set a new season low tonight as they have tied their season low at 57. Roseburg will spread it out here on the inbound. Goes to Lopez. Back to Friedenberg. Tries to drive. Turns left. Goes back right. He'll lay it in. 71-59. Roseburg a steal. Friedenberg with a wild lay-in attempt as he got control of the basketball. It didn't go. And now the ball tossed out of bounds by Ackman, trying to get it to a D. 1.5 seconds to go in this one. Roseburg, one last chance to try and get it over 60 points here tonight. But they are going to fall against South Medford here this evening. Inbound pass by Vincent Ash. Catch and shoot by Friedenberg at the buzzer. It's well short. Final score, 71-59. It's South Medford in front of Roseburg tonight. The Panthers will start 1-0 in conference play. Roseburg 0-1. And Roseburg's 7-game winning streak comes to an end. We'll have a recap of this one tonight for you when we come back after this 2-minute timeout. Roseburg boys fall to South Medford on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom.
On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Mountain Mike's, pizza the way it ought to be.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with a news review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group LLC.com.
Back here at South Medford High School, where tonight Roseburg sees a 7-game winning streak come to an end as South Medford picks up their 8th consecutive win against Roseburg. And a tough one here tonight. Going on the road, Roseburg just did not have the shooting touch we've normally seen from them. Settling for 59 points here tonight. Meanwhile, they could not hold in check South Medford, a team that not necessarily known for scoring in the 70s. They'd only hit 70 as a high this season. But tonight, South Medford sets a new season high with 71 points as they get what they get out of Jackson Whelan and Bowden Howell, but then get a nice night out of a couple other guys as well to kind of help balance the load here this evening for the Panthers. In fact, if Roseburg could have held some of these guys to more closer to their season averages, this might have been a much different game. Whelan and Howell combined for 47 points. And, you got a bunch of guys. I don't know about setting new season highs, but a bunch of guys getting to above their average here tonight. We'll take a look more at some of that here this evening as we wrap things up for you. Well, it was a competitive first half, 18-11 at the end of the first, 34-28 at halftime. Roseburg had trailed by as many as 12 in the second quarter, but fought it back to a 2-point deficit, but could not overcome South Medford. In the third quarter, though, that's where South Medford they made an adjustment at halftime that Roseburg just could not overcome. And South Medford outscores Roseburg 27-13 in the third quarter. And that is where the difference was. Roseburg outscores South Medford 18-10 in the fourth, but it wasn't enough as Roseburg falls here tonight, 71-59. Taking a look at scoring, let's start with South Medford. The Panthers led by Jackson Whelan with 25. Bowden Howell has 22. Then you had 7 points for Cameron Sewell. He averages 5.8 a game, so above his average. For Sewell, not far off of his season high of 12. Then you had Ty Henry with 7. He averages less than a point a game. He finished with 7 tonight for Ty Henry. And his 7 points, that's a season high. After that, let's see here. 4 points for Tobias Apkin. And that's above his average of 3.1. Not a season high, though. Dylan Espinoza with 4 points. He averages 1.7. He's 2 points off of his season high. So, again, just some of these role players for South Medford came up big tonight, and that's what they need to start seeing if they want to continue to add to their win totals. Deacon Edgar with 2 points tonight for the Panthers, and he was held below his average of 4.1. So at least one guy below his average here tonight. Of course, Whelan and Howell below, or actually they get above their averages, but below their season highs. So there you go. Cole D gets into the game. So does Colby Schuldberg and Jed Johnson. They all finished without a point. On the other side for Roseburg, leading the way with 13 points was Jace Wilder. That is above his season average. He nearly doubled his season average. Micah Mendoza finishes with 12. Kind of a somewhat quiet night for him at times. He goes 4 for 6 at the free throw line in the fourth quarter, though, to get him to 12 points. Let's see. 8 points for Mark Oha off the bench. Hunter Fullerton with 8. And Asher Friedenberg scores 8 points in the fourth quarter to finish with 8 off the bench. Then you had 4 points for Carter Stedman. 3 points for Owen Bentia and for Boston Williams. And that is a look at your scoring tonight. Getting into the game, Julian Lopez, Vincent Ash, Keegan Cleary, all scoreless here this evening. So that is a look at it. Roseburg ends up with 4 3-pointers. That's kind of below their average usually. 4 3-pointers for South Medford as well. Just a bit of a tough and off shooting night tonight for Roseburg as they fall against South Medford. Well, as we make our way through the postgame show here, we now will get to our Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game. For tonight, your Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game is going to be Jace Wilder with 13 points. He had a nice night tonight, did a lot of things that Roseburg needed him to do, stepped up and hit some big shots. Seemed like he was the guy obviously with leading scorer, he was the guy having the best night offensively, and he was kind of showing up in ways we don't always see him pop into the scorebook. So Jace Wilder, your Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game here tonight. That's Mountain Mike's Pizza the way it ought to be. And taking a look at tonight's rebound leader for Roseburg, I have it down as Micah Mendoza, so that's who we will award it to. Can't always guarantee the validity of my numbers, but that's what I have, and so that's what we're going with. 5 rebounds tonight for Micah Mendoza. He is your Colorcraft in the Paint rebound leader tonight, receiving a $10 gift certificate to Java Run. All right, folks, coming up next for South Medford, they'll have Sheldon on Friday on the road in Eugene. For Roseburg, they get a week off. They will not be back to action until next Tuesday when they are at home against North Medford. We'll have coverage of that one for you here on The Score. As we wrap things up here tonight, I want to say thanks to the South Medford Panthers for hosting us here this evening, and to B.G. Gould, the master of all things Medford sports, for helping out with tonight's broadcast, getting us some information and making sure we had a spot to broadcast from. Want to say thanks as well to Athletic Director Russ Bullen, Head Coach Jordan Humphreys, and the entire Roseburg boys basketball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg basketball here on The Score. A big, big thank you to Elliot, one of the team managers, helping out with the broadcast tonight, helping run the camera for us here this evening. Really appreciate him stepping in and helping out on that. And as always, thanks to Abby Knight back in the studio for help with the radio production here this evening. And want to say thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Keyran. Tonight, the Roseburg Indians fall against South Medford 71-59. We'll be back with you when Roseburg takes on North Medford next Tuesday night at Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. We'll have that one for you, and it'll start with a pregame at 6:30. Tip-off at 6:45. You can catch it right here on 541radio.com and on Douglas County's Home for Sports, The Score.